Guys, you'd be so proud of me. I cleaned my brushes before I hit record. Honestly, I should win an award. Hi friends. Before we get started, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to my audience for giving me such a warm welcome back onto the platform. I truly felt the love. It was so nice to talk with you all again in the comments, and it just reinforced for me why I want to continue on with this channel. So thank you all just for sticking with me through all of this. I truly appreciate all of your understanding and your patience, and it just spurs me on to create more content for you all. So I think we should just get the ball rolling for today. So while I ruminate on the next few videos that I want to do after this, we're going to continue on with the palette potential series with the Lois Cosmetics Meet Me at Midnight palette. There's unfortunately been some discouraging news surrounding shipping outside of the UK right now. Lois Cosmetics did an update recently on their Instagram just saying for the foreseeable future they are no longer able to ship outside of the UK as far as I know. I'm sure that will change and I'm sure that everything will get sorted out, but it is really kind of a bummer picking this back up and realizing that not everyone can go and grab it right now. So hang tight, I'm going to finish this series and I'm going to formulate all of my thoughts on the palette, and then hopefully by then things will be back up and running as normal and international shipping will be available to you all again. But if you do already have this palette, which is possible since it was released quite some time ago, it feels like it was eons ago in makeup years. So if you did manage to get your hands on the Meet Me at Midnight palette, follow along at home or get inspired or pick it back up. So without further ado, let's get started. God, I'm so pale. Oh yeah, she's still hanging out. Look at her. Guess it's just too damn fun on my face to leave. Before I start priming, let's talk about the direction I want to go in with the palette today. All right, so because I haven't even touched any of these tones in this palette yet, I want to make a complete left turn and dive into some of the warmer tones in the palette. And I find this really interesting. I noticed that no matter what palette you're working with, unless it's a truly monochromatic palette, an eyeshadow palette usually has at least some warm toned options hidden within the color story, which I find really interesting in a marketing perspective. I think subconsciously all of us are still trying to recreate the magic of modern Renaissance. I feel like Modern Renaissance by Anastasia was a huge turning point in makeup history just because of how strong its influence was on current trends and the zeitgeist and just makeup as a whole, especially recreational makeup. And I think ever since then, eyeshadow palettes, no matter what kind of color story it is, always has at least one or two warm toned options. Anyway, I don't know if that's a marketing tactic or if it's just buried so deeply into our subconscious as consumers that every brand is just sort of capitalizing on that in a way. But I'd be hard pressed to find more than maybe a handful of palettes in my entire collection that don't have a warm toned option. I digress. So with that being said, we're gonna get into the warm toned options today in the Midnight palette because, you know, inevitably there are a few of them. You've got your classic peachy nude transition shade. You have a mid-tone maroon. You even have a deeper toned warm purple. And it's interesting that they throw those in there because to me, those shades don't evoke midnight per se, possibly sunset, twilight even. But if we were trying to stay on theme, I just think that those options are kind of out of place in a way. I'm not saying they're not welcome. Absolutely not. I actually am really looking forward to getting into them today. I definitely want to dip into Ambiguous today and deepen things up with a New Day. Possibly go into Mysterious, although this shade kind of straddles the line between warm and cool, so I'm unsure if I want to go that deep today and cross over into a purple look again, especially looking ahead to see what shimmers I want to use in this look today, which still fall into the warm tone family. So Blood Moon, Guided. I am taking a little bit of inspiration from Taylogram MUA today. They do such a great job at doing these blown out, really smoky, kind of vampy eyeshadow looks, which I am all about and I'm here for. I don't know if I'm going to take it that far today, but there's a look I've saved for inspiration. I'll pop it up here. This look really spoke to me. I also really liked the subtle cut crease liner that was sprinkled in there on top, and it just so happens that I was gifted the perfect thing to experiment with. Unearthly Cosmetics launched these Immortality liquid eyeliners that are pretty spectacular. I have yet to even play with them yet or swatch them, but they are a multi-chrome liquid eyeliner. Once again, thank you Unearthly Cosmetics for gifting this set to me. Let's stop talking and go ahead and quickly prime. And just to start everything off, let's tap into Ambiguous and start making a shape. I've actually been really stoked to get into this shade. I love me a good peachy shade. Who doesn't, you know? I want to build that up enough so that we can see it. It's looking a bit blown out on camera. Hold on. That's a little better, although my autofocus has a hard time picking up my face if the settings are a bit too dark. This is really easy to work with so far. It's building nicely. This time I think I'm actually going to connect the eyeshadow underneath as well. Just making sure the edges are nice and blendy. Let's move right on to New Day and deepen everything up. This one's coming in a lot stronger. That's nice. So I'm just taking this one all the way around the crease. You can definitely tell the concentration difference between using primer and not using primer. This is a pretty good demonstration of that. Let's go back into ambiguous. Let's see if we can get more out of that peach. Yeah, that's a little better. I really like that blend now. That's what I wanted. That's really nice. I just wanted those edges to have a bit more warmth to them, more blend into that maroon. There you go, Jessica. If you wanted to see the next track on the Midnight's album, here it is. Did not mean for this to be a Taylor Swift stan account, but here we are. I'm gonna use a smaller, more concentrated brush, go back into ambiguous, and see if I can get more out of it on the lower lash line. Still not as concentrated as I would like it to be, but at least these shades are buildable. And I really want to keep this lid bright and not get too weighed down with purple. So I'm hesitant to use Mysterious to deepen everything up because I'm just afraid Mysterious will make everything a bit more dull and cool toned, which is what I'm trying to avoid today. That's more or less what I was looking for. Okay, today I actually think we're going to bust out some NYX Glitter Primer. All right, so let's start this train off with Guided. That will go right onto the center. Well, these shimmers definitely do pack more of a punch with a glitter primer, for sure. Moving on, let's grab some Blood Moon to blend those edges out a little bit. And I purposefully applied the glitter primer only in the center of the lid, just so that I could get a softer application of the other shimmer, just so that it blends into the matte a little bit easier. I think I do just want a little bit of darkness just around the lash line. And I also want to put it in the waterline, so I just want this to all look very blended and seamless. Well, that certainly added some drama. Going back into New Day, just to soften those edges a little bit. Well, this look went from 0 to edgy vampire teen real fast. Now the question is, do I want to fuck around with these today? I mean, my heart says yes. I just need to figure out which one on camera is gonna look the best. Multi-chromes are so deceptive. I'm thinking this one, which is so interesting because it looks nothing like that in person. Weird as hell. Yeah, see on camera, it's picking up all those reds and oranges, and it's green and gold in person. I don't know. It's witchcraft. It does go really well with the look though. So I'm thinking I just want to do one little cut crease line just above the crease. What do we think? Will it ruin it? I guess there's only one way to find out. Hold your breath, folks. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Ooh, I think this is what they call crow brain, because as soon as it hits the light, I'm like, ooh, shiny. I do think I want to run this on the lash line. I think I'm going to make a bold move, and you might not like it, but it's my channel, and I can do what I want. Graphic liner on my channel? Oh, this is gonna be such a bitch to try and match on the other side. I just realized. Okay, well, we sure did that. I'm not sure if I like it. I'm not convinced that I hate it yet. I do think it did get away from me a little bit. But you know what? We're just gonna do it on the other side and see how it looks with a pair of lashes, because lashes usually hide a multitude of sins, including the bad decisions that I may or may not have made just now. So I'm gonna go do all that on the other side. Lord help me. Throw on some lashes, and then when we come back, we will finish the rest of this cursed look. It's not cursed, it's not that bad. I'll be right back. I do still think I need to fix lighting on this side, because the monitor I think is throwing a bit of a shadow. You can kind of tell right in here. Okay, other side is done, lashes are on. These are Next Level by Bold Face. I gotta say, this look is growing on me. The longer I'm in it, the more I like it. And the farther away I am, the better it looks. I will say the Immortality liquid eyeliners are super fun to play with. However, given the nature of the product, that it is using multi-chrome pigments, the formula is a little on the chonky side. So it isn't the smoothest application, and up close, when I layered it a little bit in this area, it does start to flake off a little bit in the creases and it doesn't want to stick. But as an effect, I feel like this is really cool. So I'm still happy with it. Could it be cleaner? Absolutely. But I'm over here trying not to get hung up on the details. I really like the color combinations as well. I like that there's that blend of peachy orange into the maroon. I feel like the maroon in this palette is very similar to the one in the Underworld palette. Actually, I'm gonna go pull it for science. Everyone remember this gem? But I have a feeling that Snakebite and New Day are very similar. I'm gonna swatch them right now. Classic, I remember enjoying this shade. It was not the most pigmented, as Lois Cosmetics is wont to do with most of their formulas. And then here is New Day, which actually has a little bit more kick up in the pan. New Day definitely has a lot more oomph to it. It doesn't take as long to build up to get that opacity. I noticed that upon application as well. It's still fairly mid in tone, but it packs a lot easier than Snakebite. Snakebite I had to go in several times if I can remember correctly. And side by side I'm noticing that New Day definitely has more of a blue undertone. It's been a minute since I've had lashes this large on, and we're struggling. We're struggling. Let us move on to my favorite segment, blush. In true Maddie fashion, I believe I want to use 2 blushes. Just to start things off, I want to tap into Desert Orchid, do a little bit of like that peachy bronzy element to the cheek. And if you're a sane person, you could stop there. But I do believe, in order to make things unnecessarily complicated, we're gonna use a second blush. And this is my favorite pinky fuchsia blush at the moment. It's called Cherish. It's by Pat McGrath. Champagne tastes and a beer budget, am I right, folks? It's just so pretty, though. Her blushes just have the nicest finish. Not too dusty or chalky or shiny, but kind of just a nice hybrid where there's still some light in the formula, but it's not just a dark highlighter. For highlight, I think I want to keep it like peachy and golden, warm, to just bring everything in this look together. Listen, I know y'all have seen it now about 1,000 times, but Golden Nectar, I think. It just looks so good all over the cheek like that. Honestly, I've been loving using a big fat brush for highlight. Something that's really soft and fluffy, but has enough surface area to just glide all over that cheek. Pop in the same highlight in the inner corner. See, when you smile, it just picks up so beautifully. Moving on to a lip, and I'm torn because in my head, I envisioned this with a red lip because I thought it would be a little more vampy, a little bit more dramatic, which is what I had in mind for today. But now with all this graphic liner business, I think it could still work. And I just love a red lip when I'm wearing a band tee. There's just something about the combination that just makes me so happy. However, I feel like this would be a really nice neutral fit. This is by Bite Beauty. It's in the shade Harissa. I'm gonna try it first, and if we hate it, we can always just wipe it off and start again. Let's go in with some liner first. This is the Buxom Power Line in High Def Honey. Already, I'm kind of digging this vibe too, but I'm still curious what it would have looked like with a red lip. All right, let's go into Harissa. Yeah. I mean, it's fine. Do I like it? I don't know if I like this. I really want to like this Bite formula more because this color is so fantastic. It's just not the best formula. It's a little bit thin. It doesn't feel great. It looks good on camera though. I'm just not like 100% on it. You know what it is? I feel like it's the safe choice. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take it off and start again. Is this a mistake? We'll find out soon.
A few moments later.
I'm gonna try it with no liner first, just because I don't think I have a lip liner that actually matches this properly. This is a Maybelline Superstay ink crayon in the shade Make It Happen. It's a good shade match though. I think I do want a liner actually. Let's use Rich Wine from Maybelline.
One eternity later.
I remember why I don't like this liner. It is patchy as all get out. That is a big old mess now. Why is makeup so hard? Oof, this looks so atrocious now. Ever so slightly, losing my patience.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
Oof, in a last ditch attempt, let's try and switch out the liner. This is Lucky Rat Tail from ColourPop. Okay, I think we're out of the woods. Let's spray her down and call it done. And before I can ruin it any further with my grubby little hands, this is the third look all complete with the Lois Cosmetics Meet Me at Midnight palette. Oh my god, what a journey we went on today. Listen, it was bound to happen sooner or later. If you've been here long enough, you know this. I have the too much gene. Some days you just want to add multi-chrome graphic liner. And some days the first lip just isn't enough for you. Or the second. I actually really like this lip combo. It's kind of killer. I do like the red better with this look. I know it's a bit more intense, but I think the eyeshadow supports it. And the liners are really fun. They were fun to play with. Again, though, a bit on the chunky side with the formula, so if you're playing with them, try not to layer them too much, especially if you are over the age of 31. I think the trend I'm discovering with Lois Cosmetics eyeshadow palettes is that they are not the most pigmented formula in the world. This is a palette for someone who wants to dabble in some color, dabble in some darker shades, but not be overwhelmed by an overly concentrated formula. And if it were up to me, I would want the formula to just be a bit more pigmented and a bit more concentrated, but not every palette is catered to me and my personal preferences. Do I still enjoy playing with this? Absolutely. Is it my absolute favorite formula of all time? No. But the color story is intriguing enough that I want to keep going, and that's a good sign. So I think the next video in this series will be the final video. I'm going to attempt to tie everything together with the final remaining shades. Needless to say, it's going to be a very dramatic look, so I hope you look forward to that. But until then, I am going to love you and leave you. But before I do, I'm just going to rattle off the spiel to you. Here are the many ways you can help out my channel. You can give this video a big thumbs up. You can comment down below what you thought of the video. You can subscribe. Any and all engagement with this video is crucial to its success in the algorithm. So if you have a few spare seconds, please engage with this video. Now is a perfect time to get back into the channel. We are doing more regular filming and more regular uploads. So just hop on the train right now. Why not? You can follow me on Instagram, which is really the only other social media that I'm active on, which is right here. And with that, folks, please stay safe, wash your hands, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!